Through the chair, the meeting is now live.
Thanks a bunch, appreciate it. So I'm going to call this meeting to order. So this meeting of the Property Standards Committee is being called to consider appeals of orders to comply issued by the City of Kitchener's enforcement staff pursuant to Chapter 665 of the City of Kitchener Municipal Code, the Building Code Act, and the Statutory Powers Act. My name is Brian Santos, and I'm the chair for this meeting today. With us today is also committee member. We have Kimmy Adams Wiersma. I hope I got your name there correctly. Danielle Mange, who's city staff and committee administrator. So we're going to hear appeal number 2022-01 related to 357 Hoffman Street. Officer there is Officer Cockwell, and this is an extension to comply with the order. So this hearing is a formal process where those giving evidence will be required to make affirmation on the validity of their testimony. However, the committee tries to conduct this hearing in a very relaxed fashion. The committee has the authority to do one of four things. We can confirm or uphold the order as it currently stands. We can rescind the order. We can modify the order, for instance, make some changes. Or we can grant an extension of time to comply, with the order. The appellant will receive the committee's decision in writing from the committee administrator. So might as well get this started. To introduce the matter, we have the Director Supervisor of Bylaw Enforcement. I think, Steve, that's you here today for that?
It is. I'm filling in for Gloria McNeil. My name is Steve Rensos. I'm a manager with Bylaw Enforcement, and we'll be presenting the city's case here today. So I can start by saying we're here to discuss an order that was issued to the property owner of 357 Hoffman Street in Kitchener. It was issued on the 12th of February, 2022. Regarding a tree that is damaged on the property and it has deadwood, damaged limbs, deteriorating branches, and so on and so forth that are on the tree and have also fallen off. So Dennis Cockwell is the investigating officer, and he will be able to present the evidence that we have today on why this order was issued and the timelines that were given for this order to comply. The order was supposed to be complied with by February 11th, 2022. But then the appellant appealed the order, so that's why we are here now. So if we can turn it over to Dennis and he can present the evidence if you'd like to hear that.
Well, thanks so much, Steve. I think before we introduce Dennis, if Danielle can help and get him affirmed, please.
Yes. Good afternoon, officer. Could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the information you're about to provide the committee is true and correct? Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Daniela, and thank you, Dennis. So, Dennis, floor is yours.
Dennis, if you can unmute yourself as well, please.
Okay, there it is. Okay, on December the 14th, I received a complaint for a dead tree, damaged branches to a tree. I was out and inspected on the 15th of December, seeing that there was some dead trees in there, or branches within the tree were dead. I sent out an initial notice of 2 weeks to address the dead limbs and that in the tree. Paul did not do anything with that, and on January, I received another complaint that another branch had fallen onto a neighboring property and had damaged the fence in that. And at that point, that's when I issued the order to comply, giving it the 19 days. So I had two separate complaints for branches that had fallen onto the neighboring property.
Dennis, I believe that there are photos as well that were taken. Could we share those with the committee?
I believe they have them, yes.
So that is the tree in question.
Yes, it is.
And from the photos, from what I can see and what I've reviewed, you can see some of the dead limbs in and around that fallen on the tree. And there's also some dead limbs on the tree, which are a concern.
There's one in there that's hanging as it's going down there now that's hung up in the tree. That was my biggest concern. There was one broke off laying in there, and there's the other dead ones there that are supporting it. In that there photo, you can see where there's a board missing on the wooding fence, and that's where it fell over to the other's property, the neighboring property.
Correct. Thank you, Dennis. So
Thanks, Dennis. Oh, sorry to interrupt, Steve. My apologies.
yeah, no problem. Through you, Mr. Chair, our position is that we would like for the order to be upheld due to the concerns of the branches that continue to fall and that are dead there, causing any property damage to the neighboring property, and or if someone were by the tree and a branch would fall, there would be a liability there as well. So our position is that we would like to see the order upheld, and then the tree, or at least the dead limbs, removed off the tree to remove any safety issues.
Okay, thank you. The appellant now has an opportunity to ask questions, but this is a time not to give testimony, only to ask questions from the statements were provided from the city staff. So Paul, if you'd like, you can have that opportunity right now, or we can just wait and you can provide us your testimony later. I think you're on mute, Paul.
I mean, I'm only, I want to ask Dennis why he wouldn't have sent a picture. I had no idea there was branches on the other side of the fence on the ground. I mean, you know, I got a report that there was a tree problem, and I have no problem complying with an order of a tree problem. But I go out to the building and I look and I see a fence and a tree. I don't see branches on the other side of the fence. How do I know what the real infraction is? I didn't go to the other side of the fence and look. I looked for an infraction on my property, not that branches had fallen on someone else's property. So there's no issue with me complying, and I have no problem with that. I have a problem with not knowing what the issue was. So now that I've been told, and the first time I saw pictures or any reason who had actually complained, there is no problem with complying, except that it's the middle of winter. So Dennis, why didn't you provide any pictures or at least tell me where the branches were? That's my question.
So I did reach out to you, Paul, and mentioned that the tree, and you said you didn't know if it was on your property originally. I went back and I took measurements, and then that's why I sent you out the initial notice to remove any of the dead branches. You had acknowledged that you did see the tree. Okay. I didn't know that I sent you the order when you were on holidays. Had you had asked me for a photo, I would have been more than willing to forward you a photo, right? I just emailed you the order when you were away on holidays, right? There's no reason why I couldn't have sent you a photo. Reason you could have asked me for one as well, right? I wouldn't have had a problem with sending you that information.
Those are my questions.
Well, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Dennis. Any questions from the committee for city staff?
Not from me, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Well, if we'd like at this point, we can affirm Paul, the appellant, and he can give any testimony that he has at this time. Danielle, can I ask for your help again, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair, could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the information you're about to provide is true and correct?
I will.
Thank you.
Paul?
Now that I know where the branches are, I'm happy to remove them. I can't get to the tree. So you can order anything you want, but I can't get to the tree. There's 24 inches of snow between the parking lot and the tree. And there's no way that I have any kind of insurance or will find anybody who will cut down the tree. And, you know, the city may want to hold up to it. Great. Tell me how I can get to the tree, or somebody, because I'm not doing it. And I have to find somebody in the tree cutting business in the middle of winter. So it's all right. Whatever you decide is fine. I can't get to the tree.
City staff want to respond to that?
Yep, we do work with contractors that would be able to get to that tree. They're professional tree services. So, Mr. Shear, if I would suggest is contacting different tree services out there, because this is what they do for a living and are able to assess a tree and take down any limbs, as that's exactly what we would do. If we were to move ahead to remove the dead wood off that tree, we would get 3 quotes from 3 tree contractors and then proceed that way. So this is their profession. They work year round, and I don't think that they would have any issues accessing that tree in order to remove the dead wood.
But you don't know for sure.
I don't know for sure.
And you haven't
So-
been to my property.
I have not been to your property, no, but
And
we
so-
have.
and you don't know that there's a 15 to 20 foot pile of snow at the end of the driveway to have to walk over to get to the tree.
Yeah, and I don't know that,
It's
but
been a
that's
bad
something that we
winter,
would
but it's
assess.
been a bad winter, but you know that there are contractors that'll do that. I don't
Yep,
have anything else to say. You guys decide what you want.
Does the committee members have any questions for the appellant?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I'm wondering if you have made any efforts to contact tree removal companies to see if they would come out.
Yes, of course I have, but they won't come in the winter because they don't have liability insurance to slip and fall on snow. And neither do I.
And what have you done to mitigate the losses, if anything?
I haven't done anything because I can't get to the tree.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Those are my questions.
Thank you. Paul, like how much more time would you need? I know they're in your application to ask for more time. You
60
have
days.
it 60 days?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Well, if there's no further questions, both sides have an opportunity to provide a summation if you want. If you don't want to do so, I guess Kimmy and I can step aside if that's okay, and then come up with a decision.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you as well. I believe that we provided what we needed to, and again, we would like to see the order upheld.
It's very friendly of you. Thank you.
If I wouldn't mind stepping in there, Paul. I can get you the names of 3 contractors that we used to remove that tree. I could also reach out to the complainant and to see if you can access that from their portion, because of where the branches are falling, they've fallen on a shed on the other side, and it's within a parking lot at the back of the other building. That's something I could reach out if you'd like me to do that.
Did we lose Paul?
It appears that he's not in the call.
Okay. Kimmy, do you want to step aside, make a decision, or you're going to make a decision right now? What do you feel best about?
I would like to go on camera if possible, please.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Danielle, can you help with that, please?
Yes, 1 second. I will stop the live.
So I think we're back and the live stream is going again. So the committee came with a decision to uphold the order. So we're saying it now, but I see Paul's not on the call. So notice will be given in writing at the completion of this meeting now. So yeah, thank you everyone here today. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Steve, Kimmy, and city staff. Appreciate all your help. And yeah, do you need anything else from us then?
From us, no. Thank you very much for the decision, and everybody have a great day.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Take care.
Thanks, everyone.